welcome back to Toyota Sports Talk. Washington Commanders training camp rolling on here. Always exciting time to see the Burgundy and Gold back on the field. We're joined today by cornerback Mike Sainristil. No longer a rookie. That rookie cornerback label is gone. How's it feel? Year number 2 now.
Feels good. Just, excited to get things rolling. Glad to be back in the building with, the squad, man. Just ready to get back into what we do. Football's back around, so you got to love this time of year as, a ball player, as a fan of football. It's just a great period. And just like I said, I'm excited to be back.
You had a great rookie season. How do you build on that? What was your focus in the offseason to get ready for year number 2?
Just, trying to figure out, okay, what did I do last season? And then figure out what more can I do. Figure out something new that can help me reach a new level of success. And just, shift my focus to something bigger than what it was last year. And just every single day, just trying to make sure I'm being consistent, to make sure I meet my standard of what I want to do, who I want to be, and just, rely, on my teammates. I know there's a group of guys in here that's going to hold me accountable to the team standard, and the guys that know what I want to do will hold me to my standard as well. So just matching that each and every day. So
last year you started out playing inside, then you went to the outside, went back and forth. What's the plan this year? You going to go flip back inside? What's the deal?
It's up to the coaches. Wherever they need me, that's where I'm going to be. And I'm just focused on, if you guys want me inside this week, I'll be inside. If you want me outside next week, I'll be outside. So to me, it doesn't matter. It's just how can I make sure I'm on that field and helping the defense have success, and how can I help this team win? With
that being said, though, how much have you grown of being able to play both positions? Because you got experience at the highest level doing both.
Yeah, just, the film study. And just, making sure that I know my playbook. When we're talking about one position in the meeting room, that doesn't mean I have to, turn off the focus of the other position. So, like I said, if we're talking about the corners, even though I might be playing inside, that doesn't mean I don't take notes on what the corner has to do. So it's just all about making sure that I know both positions very well. That way, when I'm out there, there's no hiccups in what I got to do.
I love asking this question to athletes. What is your why? What is your hunger? What is your drive? What is your why ultimately? Why do you do this?
I just know that my parents, they gave up everything they had in Haiti. They moved our family to America to, give, their children, myself, my siblings, give us a chance to do something in life, to, be something in life. So for me, I was blessed to be able to play this game. And I'm going to use this game to be able to provide for my family. God's allowed me to, do great things. I've been able to meet people that I never, dreamed that I never thought I would meet. And just, everything that I'm working towards is all in God's plan. So just using this game as a vehicle to get to many different, avenues in life. So, my why is my family. I want to be great for, my parents. I want to be great for my family now, my wife. I have a daughter at home. I have another daughter on the way. So just be able to provide and just, make sure that my kids are going to be, good when it's their time.
Yeah, speaking of family, welcome to the Ring Club. You got to hold that up, man. Tell us what's going on there. So some new hardware recently.
Yeah, so we got engaged last month. And then, we both came to the realization that, like, there's really nothing that, we need to wait for.
Like why wait, right?
Why wait, yeah, exactly. So we both, made the decision that we want to get it done. So we went to the courthouse and locked it in.
What was that moment like?
It was great. It was special. Shout out to, Pastor Garrison. He married us. And it just felt really good because we both knew that we were the people that we want to be with. And, she's my person. I'm her person. And we have, we share that bond, share that love. And just being able to step into a new chapter and just get to grow with the person that you love it's amazing. It's beautiful. You bring up
a great point. How has being a husband, being a father, maybe humanized you, changed your perspective a little bit on everything?
Yeah, I think it's just, like I just mentioned, like just you're doing stuff now for a different reason, for another purpose. And, they're my reason. So, like I said, I have to make sure each and every single day I come into work, it's like I need to be the best version of myself in here because I know they're dependent on me back home. And I have to make sure of that. And you look across the league, I'm going against guys who are doing the same exact thing. So why would I ever come in here and take this opportunity for granted? So you came into Michigan starting as a wide receiver. They switched you over to cornerback eventually, but
Do you ever kind of go down to the offensive side of the building, maybe knock on Cliff Kingsbury's door a little bit and be like, hey, can you put some plays in for me? You ever think about that?
Coach Cliff told me this. He said, when you get a pick six, we'll think about putting you off. He told me that last offseason. So, Coach Cliff, I'm going to take you up on that.
Right? I mean, Cliff, the pick six is in the book, so we got to get you a couple plays in the O.
Yeah. Listen, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll take it.
Do you miss receiver at all?
Sometimes, when we're doing like individual with the, DBs, and when I get the chance to run a route, I kind of just, show my receiver skills off a little bit. But it's receiver, that's naturally, like, I just enjoyed being able to, catch a pass, catch a screen, whatever, and just make an exciting play. Like, who doesn't want to score touchdowns? I grew up, my favorite wide receiver was Tavon Austin, and he was the most electrifying player that, I was watching growing up. So every time, like, I stepped on the field, it was like, okay, how can I do what Tavon Austin was doing? Like the dead legs, the juke moves, just stuff like that. And it was like, why would you not want to play receiver? But definitely, Coach Harbaugh making the switch for me to, telling me I think you should play defense, it's got me to where I am now. So, but yeah, I definitely do miss receiver at times.
Having that experience of running so many routes and playing that position, how do you think that benefits you at the NFL level being a cornerback?
I would say just being able to just read routes, have the feel in routes, like, when you're down the field, what type of stems you're getting, what type of releases you might get based off of, field scenarios and whatnot, and situational football, of course. And then for me, I think it's definitely helped my ball skills, just being able to find the ball in the air, when to locate, in the middle of a route, like what type of, is it a back shoulder, is it an over the top? And like, that's why I think I'm just so confident when it comes to, having the ball in the air. Like, I have no problem. I have all the trust in the world in my hands to be able to go up and make an interception.
So as we mentioned, Mikey, you had a great rookie season, put out some really good tape. So what's the next step? Like, what does success look like for Mikey Sainristil on the football field this year?
I would say just, I want to be in that, top percentile of cornerbacks. I want to be, the goals, all Pro Bowl, but none of that happens without, the team succeeding. So I've always been a firm believer in, with team success comes individual success. So I know what I want to do, but it's not about me. It's about what can I do to help this team succeed. And then within that, if I do my part, then I think I'll be where I want to be when this is all done.
And I certainly respect and appreciate the friendship and relationship you've developed with Jayden Daniels. How have you two pushed each other? Because it looks like you guys are super tight.
Yeah, just, you want to see your brother succeed. And one thing, having to, like, I have a brother at home, of course. So just, like, you won't let your brother fall short of anything, of what he wants to be, of, if you guys, like I said, like, we have standards. And we're going to make sure we each match that standard each and every single day. He's got my back. I know I have his. And just, we came in together, you know what I mean? So we're both going to do each and everything each and every single day to make sure that, we're succeeding. And it's about the friendship that we have off the field. Just checking up on each other each and every here and there, like, yo, what's going on? How you doing? Like, you doing good? Like, how's your mental space? How's your spirit? Like, how are you? Like, take ball away, how are you feeling? Like, I think just doing stuff like that is what builds those, good friendships, those tight-knit bonds. And, I have that friendship with Jaden.
Curious, how much do you think about that NFC Championship game? Because you guys were so close to going to the Super Bowl. And I mean, obviously as a rookie, that doesn't really happen a lot, going to the NFC Championship game your first year. So how much do you think of that game, and how much does that maybe fuel you, motivate you and your teammates to take one more step?
Yeah, I think it's it's a scar. It's it's still there, and I think just personally for me, it's just about, like, in order to get back there, like, what steps do we have to take in order for me to help this defense? Like, what steps do I have to take? Because what we did last year, that's not the same thing that we got to do. It's all about just keeping that same hunger, keeping that same drive. Because everything is internal. It's about what we're doing in here to make sure that we're, it's not about what other people think about us. It's not about, the outside. It's about in here, how much can we compete? What limits can we push each other to get to where we want to be? And, that just is something that has to be done every single day.
And I'm liking this DB room. You added Trey Amos. You got a healthy Marshawn Lattimore. How are the fellas looking heading into 2025 here?
I think you know, today was a good start for us, and you know, being the best secondary in the country doesn't happen today. It's just, you know, stacking each and every single day, just, you know, brick by brick, and you know, like I keep saying it, if we do what we need to do, when we look up at the end of the season, we'll be exactly where we need to be.
Pretty good to add another future Hall of Famer to the defense in Von Miller, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Bobby Wagner, future Gold Jacket. You got Von Miller. I mean, growing up, you probably idolized those guys, watching those guys, and now they're teammates in your defensive huddle. Is that kind of surreal to you in a sense?
Definitely. It was like last year when I came in, I was like, oh snap, like that's Bobby Wagner. You know what I mean? Like, and then we just got Von Miller, and like still like the kid in me is like, dang, like that's really Von Miller. You know what I mean? But when I was getting, you know, when I was coming out, I always prayed about just having good vets, guys to look up to, guys who've been in the game for a while, who could give me, you know, like teach me, like show me the ropes. And I've been blessed to have a plethora of them on this team. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the guys in this building, and I'm just pick their brains any chance I get to, you know, help myself out. And
now being no longer a rookie, you get to pay it forward. How are you trying to help this rookie class kind of assimilate into the culture here in Washington?
I would say just telling them like what it was for me last year. You know, any questions they have, if I haven't, I'll try to have an answer. If I don't, I definitely know somebody in here who does. So just, you know, like I said, just giving them my experience, what I did to help myself out, because it's fresh for me, as opposed to, you know, a guy like Bobby who's been in it for 30 years, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, just like I said, just being able to tell them like, look, this is the steps I did, this is, you know, the routine I follow, this is who I watch do their routine, and just kind of made it into my own. But you know, they're a great group of guys, and I think they're already trying to, you know, they're already navigating their way through this off season, and they're asking the right questions. They're, you know, going around the right guys and doing the right things. So they just got to keep doing that, and you know, when season comes, just find a way to get on that field.
All right, Mike Sainristil, appreciate your time. Stay healthy.
Yes,
have
sir.
a great second year, man.
No doubt.
Much more to come right here on Toyota Sports Talk. Stay with us.